Hi Gemini, welcome to your 12th of February to 28th of February 2019 general reading. Hope you're all well. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed, liked and shared my channel. It is always much appreciated. And we are going to be using, I'm going to be using 3 decks today. This first one, this is a tarot deck from the Gilded Tarot from Ciro Manchetti. Going to be using that one first off. And then we're going to be using the Chinese Fortune Reading Cards by Sharina Star. And then we're going to be using my own very own Messages from Spirit Oracle by Sandy Mac Psychic Medium. Now, just a little bit of a warning. Some of these cards are not light and fluffy from the Messages from Spirit Oracle, my own cards, but they do hit the point. So, yeah. It is a general reading, Gemini, so please take what you need and discard the rest. Other than that, let's get on with your reading for this period of time, from the 12th of February to the 28th of February. So your overarching energy is the Knight of Wands. When the Knight of Wands comes in, it means there's quick communication. There's movement, there's change, there's travel. It's all happening really, really quick. It's coming in, so there's going to be a lot of communication coming in. But you'll also hear some news, because the Knights are all about news. I'm just going to put that one up there. So let's have a look at some of the cards for you. The first one down is the Nine of Swords. The second one is the Sun. Third one is the Judgment. Fourth one is the Seven of Wands. Fifth one is the King of Wands. Sixth one is the Three of Wands. Three of Swords. Sorry about that. So, now we've got the Nine of Swords coming up here. It does indicate a time of stress, over-analysing, overthinking, mental strain, and not getting enough sleep. So you might have gone through a massive period of absolutely stressing over nothing. So, well, when I say nothing, I mean it could be work, it could be finances, it could be the communication. So your communication skills could be just a little bit off. So maybe you had a fight with somebody, that type of thing. So there's been a fair bit of stress going on there, Gemini. The second card that comes out is the Sun, saying that there's more joyous times ahead. So going from the crappy Nine of Swords back into some really joyous times now from the rest of for the rest of February. This is going to be absolutely awesome for you. The Judgment card comes up, and it does indicate a revival of happiness, but also there's a second chance. So you may find that your communication, what you had trouble with it in the very beginning with the sign of the Nine of Swords, you may find that you get a second chance to rev it up a little bit, think it seemed as though you thought about what you said perhaps, and then going on and getting that second chance to make amends and discuss something. So it may be with your partner, it may be with a friend, that type of thing. So that's really hitting the nail on the head with the Knight of Wands as well. The Seven of Wands comes here, and it does indicate a bit of defensiveness here, but needing to stand your ground, needing to set boundaries, I do here with this one. So maybe you did set those boundaries, and the other person, because it can go both ways, the other person may not have been too happy about your new boundaries. So, or you may have just told the truth, and because the Nine of Swords does indicate truth. So when it does come out, it may mean that you had to be defensive, you had to set your boundaries, and that it wasn't liked by somebody else. Yeah. So the King of Wands comes in here. Very, very passionate chap, this one. Doesn't necessarily mean it's because it's not gender specific, but it means that you perhaps were very passionate in your communication, or perhaps the other person was passionate in the communication. It could mean about the work. You've been thinking and stressing about the work, where you've had to turn around and say, particularly when we had the Seven of Wands, it may have forced you into a corner, because they may have asked you to work more hours, and you've turned around and said, no, look, I'm going on holidays, that type of thing. You had to stand up for yourself there. So the King of Wands indicates that it was a very passionate time of communication, and it could be to do with your work. So the Three of Swords is the last card just for this spread here with these cards. It does indicate the darkest hour before the dawn. It can indicate that there has been heartache. It can indicate also that there was 3 people involved. So you could have, and with the truth too, so you could have had to deal with another, like your boss perhaps, and another person who you've been fighting and needing to stand up and speak up and come out very, very clearly. This is a very interesting card, but it does indicate there are happier times ahead. Definitely with the Sun card and the Judgment card there that were coming into it. So that's actually really good. So things are going to be turning around. So you've had a definite revival and a second chance to make amends after your stress, perhaps from work. So remembering that this is a general reading, Gemini, so take what you need and discard the rest. We're going to be pulling a Chinese fortune reading card for you by Sharina Star. So let's have a look what that one's got to say. Yeah, yes. Now the challenges card comes out. It does indicate that you've had challenges to step over. You've had challenges, either that be in work or the communication or your own personal love life, those sorts of things, the truth coming out. All of those things have been a great time of challenge for you. But please be aware that when this is all going to change, because when we had the Nine of Wands coming up, it's going to change. So for the better. So please know whatever challenges that you've had in the past, they're now coming to an end, which is really good. I'm now going to give you a last card from my own personal deck, the Messages from Spirit Oracle. Just please remembering that this is not all that light and fluffy. It tells you what you need to know, not rather than what you want to hear. Okay, Gemini, this is for you. So extra message from Spirit. Okay, the odd sock. Now, it's a very interesting card. When I did these cards, the odd sock, it does mean that there's something odd going on. Something hasn't been right. Something needed to be fixed and something needed to be found. So whether, I mean, that can be the other sock too in the laundry, but bearing in mind, sometimes we just have to find our voice. And this, the odd sock, says that you've gone through all of that, but you can look forward to absolute much happier times now that it's all cleared up, because there's big changes to communication, work, and it's coming fast. So Gemini, I'll leave you with that. All the very best for the up until the end of February, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye for now.